Dave Kettner. What is the Cashflow Quadrant? When I first learned about the Cashflow Quadrant, I was upset. I knew I was in the A quadrant. My eyes were opened and I realized that as an employee I was a modern-day slave. Shane Canalier once wrote, "Slavery was a terrible system. The slave owner would give the slaves food and shelter with a hint of medical care. The slave would then be forced to work long hours at difficult jobs. Nowadays, SOs give their employees just enough money to afford food and shelter and a hint of medical care. The employees would then be forced to work long hours at difficult jobs." Slavery was abolished, but if you want to abolish being an employee, you have to do that yourself. You have to realize that you are caught in a trap. You can escape. You won't be alone. There's an entire movement of people taking matters into their own hands and bravely forging ahead as self-employed entrepreneurs. These people first understood that the old way of doing business and work isn't the answer, and rather than try and fix it, it's better to just move on. The world has changed and you must change with it. These people have taken the leap and started their own businesses, and now know the freedom and thrill that come with building something from the ground up. These entrepreneurs don't fear change, they embrace it and profit from it. This is your time to make a change. This is your opportunity to become a part of the new business class and take your future into your own hands. Besides, you don't really have a choice, things are changing with or without you. The rules of the game have changed, and unless you adjust the way you think about money and how you make it, you'll be at a serious disadvantage in this new economy. I could not remain an employee with no control of my life. Being in the S quadrant wasn't going to be much better. I needed to be in the B quadrant or the I quadrant. Robert said that those who are true Bs can leave their business for a year or more in return to find their business more profitable and running better than when they left it. In a true S type of business, if the S left for a year or more, chances are there would be no business left to return to. But I struggled with how I could get to the B side of the quadrant. The B side requires 500 employees. That just wasn't in my reality. I did not have the mindset capable of dreaming so big. I needed something that seemed realistic to me. So I kept studying and trying to not just listen to the words of the Cashflow Quadrant but the meaning. There is a huge difference between the S quadrant and the B quadrant, and it had nothing to do with the number of employees. An S owns a job, a B owns a system. I just needed to find or create the right system. It wasn't as easy as you might guess. I did not realize that a person could sell on Amazon. I thought Amazon was just for the big boys. But once I understood the meaning behind the Cashflow Quadrant, my eyes were open and I began searching for opportunities. I was no longer looking for the best deals, I was looking for the best systems. Multiple quadrants. I'd like to make one more observation from my studying the Cashflow Quadrant. A person can be in two quadrants at the same time. When I first started learning about how to sell on Amazon and how to create my own brand and product without much money, I was still in the A quadrant. My actions took me to work every day. I still wanted more from my job and I still relied on my paycheck. In truth, many of my thoughts were still those of the employee mindset. But I had changed too. Now I was also in the B quadrant. My actions at night were building my knowledge of the Amazon systems and of digital marketing. My thoughts were about perfecting what I was learning and testing to see what worked and did not. But my dreams had changed. I dreamed only in the B quadrant. Those are some pretty big dreams over there.